Monthly on The Country, we catch up with the state of the real estate market with the team from PGG Wrights, and normally it's the boss, Peter Newbold, but he's been waylaid for a few days, so up to the batter's box is Peter Wylie, well-known man in Pine Tree Meads country, King Country in Waikato. In fact, Peter Wylie, you've got Pine Cone Meads, namely Glyn, Pine Tree's son, working for you.
Yes, I have, yeah. No, Glenn and I have been pretty firm friends for about 30 years. And he was working for King Country Rugby, actually, and about 7 years ago, we, over a beer, just thought he'd make a good fit for us. So he comes along and he's my right-hand man and gives me a hand all the time, so a good fella.
Well, with a name like Meads in the King Country, you've got a free invite up every drive, I would imagine, anyhow. hey, talk to me, talk to me about carbon farming, because it would appear to me that the wheels are starting to fall off this. Are we seeing the same level of forestry conversion, and I'm talking sheep and beef country to forestry, that we were seeing 6 months, 12 months ago?
Certainly, no, the inquiry has dried off. I mean, there's still productive forestry inquiry, but the straight carbon guys most probably haven't been in the market in our neck of the woods for, I'd say, over a year, perhaps even 18 months. But certainly the forestry guys have been a dominant force in through the King Country with carbon, as well as production farming. Interesting, in a lot of the property they buy, if they're buying any easier land, they offer that to the neighbours first and might do a bit of a land swap for some of the steeper side of things. But I just think since Gabrielle and the carbon price going on collapsed there a little bit. And some of these guys have they've purchased a lot of land, so they've still got to plant it all out. Everyone just seems to be sitting back and just hunkering down for the winter time.
Well, the carbon farming or the forestry has been underpinning the price of sheep and beef land. Does it follow on that the price of sheep and beef land is falling?
It hasn't come back too much just as yet, Jamie. But yeah, certainly they were the floor price. I think they were the floor of the North Island. I mean, we're in a different market compared to the East Coast, being further away from ports over there, so they were getting some really special per hectare type prices, I thought. But yeah, once these guys, if they exit out of the market completely, some of that stick the whole country prices will, they'll come back.
So you're mainly selling sheep and beef land, but because you're covering the Waikato region as well, you're obviously selling dairy land as well. Is anyone up for buying a dairy farm these days?
Very good question. I don't think there's been a fantastic enthusiasm for dairy farms. I mean, I think we're about a third behind the total that we do for all the Waikato and the dairy side of things. And a lot of those are, very well located dairy farms where, there's been a bit of neighbourly interest. Certainly when you get onto the second and third tier dairy farms where we do require perhaps a large amount of staff, they've been really hard to move. And that's been, down to staff issues and trying to get people to move out and staff some of these bigger farms.
We're also seeing a bit of land use change in the Waikato region, and they tell me, or you tell me actually, that kiwi fruit's starting to poke its nose in there.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. In and around Te Awamutu and Cambridge and places like that, there's certainly a big influence being changed into it. So, some horticulture reps being employed now from Bay of Plenty to come and work into the Waikato, which is interesting. So, yeah, it's things that you've got to be on your toes at this job. There's all sorts of land use changes.
Hey, Peter Wylie, just before I let you go, like a lot of rural real estate agents, you started out in the livestock game. Did you get sick of wading through pens of lambs?
Yeah, just wanted a bit of a change. I mean, there's quite a few other guys that are in the real estate scene that have gone through, and it's the same sort of attributes I think that you need. Just good communication and enjoying farmers' company and being on the land. So, yeah, I started in '81, and I've been in real estate since 2007. But Andrew Patterson down south and Peter Crane and those guys, they've all come through the system as well.
All lured by the big money of real estate, eh, Peter?
I knew you're coming down that track, Jamie. Yeah.
I can't believe Kevin Mortensen hasn't switched camps.
Yeah, most probably, you do need some good looks along the way, and I just think Kevin sort of just lacks a little bit of that. He is a great mate of mine, so he won't mind me saying that.
He's a great stock agent as well. Look, I do really appreciate the association we have with the team from PGG Wrightson. Great relationship, and we're both working together on the IHC Calf and Rural scheme as well. So always good to chat to you blokes. See you later.
Excellent. Thanks, Jamie.